Nelson Mandela said sport has the power to change the world, to inspire, to unite people in a way that little else can. And that's exactly what happened in South Africa. Whenever any sport takes place in the country, people from all walks of life, cultures and race come together to support their team. This gathering was different, but with a common goal.
Thank you, Nelson Mandela. Thank you very much for what you did for us. You owe us nothing. We actually owe you a lot. We salute you and we salute your family and will forever be indebted for what you did for South Africa. In death, you have made and elevated our country even in better heights. Many countries don't have a Nelson Mandela. They want to have a Nelson Mandela. We are proud we have been chosen among nations to have a Nelson Mandela. How proud are we as a nation today? This is what we celebrate. This is what future generations must understand. We are a winning nation. Mediocrity must be abhorred because we come from the land of Nelson Mandela.
Mandela had the habit of keeping up to date with the sporting achievements of all South Africans. He would send personal messages of congratulations whenever a South African won something or broke a record. In 1996, Penny Hines broke world records and won Olympic gold medals, and got to meet him.
I told her when I shook hands with her that I won't wash my hands.
How did you?
And every sportsman or administrator has a story like that.
He has laid the foundation, and the challenge is what we do to carry that forward as South Africans, because every one of us in the world, when you say I'm from South Africa, they're expecting a bit of Mandela in you, because Mandela was a business card for South Africa. So therefore it's going to be very important to say what values do we adopt individually or as sporting codes as individuals to carry forward his legacy, because other than that it will be a wasted cause on his side. But I think South Africans are conscious, and people with so much talent, so much what's called intellectual capacity, that we are going to be able to carry his dreams and his vision forward as South Africans.
One of the many battles that Mandela fought was to keep the Springbok as rugby's national emblem. He was met with fierce resistance from struggle veterans, but he stood firm, saying he wanted everybody to feel they belong in South Africa.
Madiba called us to Mahlambandovu when he asked us to join him in the campaign to retain the Springbok colours. And that in itself for me was a visionary observation on his side. And then if you look at the Springboks, when they sing the national anthem, you look at the passion, in their faces, the patriotic spirit, in their faces, in their body language. That for me, it says something, that Madiba understood that sport is the only catalyst to unite South Africans.
Without his intervention, the Springbok blazer would not have been worn as proudly as it is today.
Yeah, the first thing that strikes your mind is that just the humility. I think that we all can look back on his legacy, and hopefully there's a lot of hard work for us to continue with that, but obviously exciting in terms of the future, and what a great legacy Madiba left for all of us.
And he's an inspiration to all sporting codes.
Obviously for us it's very sad, Madiba was sick for a while, but it's very sad that he's passed away. But with saying that, there's a legacy that he left for us now, so very happy to make sure that we do that. All of us are responsible to do that. Also on my way I was listening to 5FM this morning, and they did an interview with Gary Player, and I had goosebumps just listening to what he said about his times sharing with Madiba and his legacy, and the word love, how much love Mandela had for everything. So really inspiration to us all, and he's going to be missed.
In 2002, it was reported that Carlos Queiroz, the then national coach, was sacked by the South African Football Association. But the man who took over, Jomo Sono, has a different story. Sono and Queiroz were summoned by Madiba.
I don't know what Carlos said. It's the first time I saw him upset. He was very upset. And these were his words. He said, you can excuse yourself, Mr. Carlos. Mr. Sono will take over the national team. We have South Africans who are capable of taking the national team to the World Cup. And my knees just shook because I wasn't ready to take over the national team. And fortunately, we did very well in the World Cup.
The delegation then went to Mr. Mandela's home, where they, along with thousands of other South Africans, had the chance to pay their respects to the family.
when he came to address us in 1996, our first game against Cameroon, there are only a couple of words that he mentioned, that we should remember that we're representing the nation and we must just go out there and play for the nation, not for our families or us as individuals. But I never thought, this message meant something in terms of trying to get every person in South Africa to be united. But because of he knew what he was saying, and today we are who we are because of that. So I must say that that's what I've learned, because he had a vision, but I never thought that with my skills, him saying that I should do this, I'll be unifying the country. But he knew what he was trying to do, yeah.
But it was not only the so-called major sporting codes, such as soccer, cricket and rugby, that benefited from Mandela's legacy. Minority sports such as archery, badminton, wrestling and yachting have been inspired by the great man.
I think the endurance and the positive that we are taking from Nelson Mandela is to never stop giving and to give all the time and never give up. I think our netball players achieved what they have achieved just because of his inspiration and good wishes all the time.
Sports personalities are used to fans wanting their attention, but today and for the rest of their lives they will be Mandela fans. Because without him, South Africa's sporting landscape would have been totally different.
The overwhelming message from all these sports stars is without Nelson Mandela they wouldn't have been here. And the best way they can honour him is to let his legacy live on in them. Harry Wolff hier, SABC News, Houghton.